about networking strategy. Should I read it out or?
Absolutely. Yeah, why
Does
not?
everybody have the same sheet?
I think they have the same sheet.
Okay, so networking strategy. In regarding to the follow-up, so just going down the bullet points here, send related articles and news pieces to the person that you've met, connect with them on social media, also use their products and services. Send referrals to them. Choose.
Oh, I think we have a question.
Oh, yes.
They're all called networking strategy. Which one?
Which one? Follow-up. Sorry. Let's see here. Also choosing selectively who you want to connect with. So don't go to a networking event where there's 1,000 people and try to connect with all of them. Have a second meeting, and a third, and a fourth. Send snail mail, because it is so rare nowadays. So on the other sheet, labeled what might you do at the event. So primarily you want to get to know the person. You should listen to others and show interest in what they have to say. Your body language is going to be very important, so be mindful of that. Make sure that you're approachable. You want to be able to speak very clearly and enunciate your words. And smile. Nobody wants to go and approach a grump, right? Introduce yourself. Don't be the guy that's or girl that's sticking around at the back corner of the room and is too shy. Just get out there. You want to have a very short intro. You don't want to bore somebody with a lengthy introduction of who you are and what you do. And be casual. Pose open-ended questions, not just yes and no questions, so that you have a conversation that can get started. Show respect to the other person. Make sure you have a clean appearance, that you're dressed appropriately, for example. And also keep your right hand free if you're at events. So for example, if you're at a meet and greet and there's wine or something like that, keep your glass in your left hand so your right hand's ready to go.
Pay attention, Linda.
To shake hands, not to.
One glass at a time.
That's great. Yes, Linda, we were thinking of you. Okay, the next sheet. Where should you network? So we broke this down into two categories. The one was just in general, different ideas, and then the other one was a list of actual places and organizations. So we were looking at tweet-ups, we're looking at Meetup, which is online, all the different social media channels that are out there. Also looking at industry-specific settings. So for example, you might be at a supplier or at a store or something getting supplies, and you're talking to other business people, and you can get that conversation going to network. Trade shows, but basically everywhere. Everywhere you go and you meet people, it doesn't matter where. In regards to the individual events, we have, of course, the Canadian Network.
Well, yes.
Of course.
Of course.
She twisted my arm, made sure I put that number on. And then we've got the CWIBL, which is?
Cambridge Women in Business and Leadership.
I didn't want to write that all out. The Chamber of Commerce, of course, BNI, I got Pro, BAB, Cluster, Saint-Cassette, so there's plenty out there to choose from. Last sheet, number 4, which is what are your goals from networking? So I think primarily it's to build relationships. You want to also make sure you set yourself a limit that you're going to meet X number of people. So again, don't go to a trade show and say, I met with everybody, but the quality was missing. You want to have a follow-up strategy that you put in place, which was on the other sheet. You want to ask the person who is their ideal client so that you get a better understanding about them and their business. You want to make it about the other person. So you want to do a lot of listening. You want to show interest in what they're talking about. You don't want to make it just about yourself. You want to put yourself out there. Make yourself available. Go to events, meet people, shake hands. It's also about gaining recognition for yourself as well. When people are talking to you, they're going to get to see you at multiple events, and they're going to start to say, oh, yeah, I recognize that person. I know who they are. It's also about building trust. You want to make sure you're having fun. And the last point is when you're going out to an event, if Linda is there, make sure you find her a glass of wine.
That's the best tip.
Very good. Very
For follow-up, we said personal handwritten notes along with snail mail. LinkedIn follow-up is good, an email saying that you will then follow up with them also on social media, and then you get multiple layers of connection. Personal videos, LinkedIn with your email follow-up to them so they can see your face, and emails. Video is always more personal. We had a suggestion of throw in a $1 lottery ticket and say, I was so lucky to meet you today. I hope you were also lucky.
So we'll start off with what might you do at a networking event. So our group came up with elevator pitch to tell people what your business does, like a 30-second pitch, and try to find something common with the people you network with. And this is one of my personal favorite actually. Conversation started like talk about the weather. It's raining today. Talk how wet you are. Smile. Obviously, we don't keep it fun. Keep it casual. No one wants to talk to someone that's a little bit grumpy or tired. And be unique. Stand out. Put yourself out there. Don't be shy, like he said. And follow up after the meeting, network, because you always want to keep in touch. You don't want to just be the guy who...
And not a lot left to say, thanks.
Did say it was easy.
Networking strategy, follow up. Networking doesn't stop when networking ends. What ideas can you think of for following up? Well, you covered most of them already. But for a couple extra, social media, send out some appreciation. Everybody wants to be told they said something that made a difference. Think about what was said, make a note of it, and give them that note by email, social media, or a card, whatever works for you. There's different ways to meet up after is go for a walk. Keeps you in shape, gives you some exercise, and for some of us, golfing was suggested. If you're a golfer, there's a lot of business done on the golf course. Snacks and beverages later, of course. What might you do at the event? Eye-to-eye contact. I want to know that you're listening and you want to know I'm listening back. So by watching each other's eyes and following through,